I want to ask you a serious question. What do you think about men who accept alimony from their wife? Let me know in the comments.
What is a time where you felt that you failed that you learned a valuable lesson from?
That's such a hard question. Getting divorced was a big lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come? What happened?
For a long time, like in your 20s and 30s, like getting married was a big goal, and I got married. And then I realized that that's not everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what I learned through being married was that knowing who you are, knowing your values, and knowing your non-negotiables is so much more important than anything else. It could be more important than the person that you love. And that was a huge lesson for me.
So do you think you didn't know yourself before getting married?
I think I didn't really know how important my values were to me before I got married.
What is true love like, in your opinion?
When I find out, I'll let you know.
Why did it not work, if you don't mind me asking?
Because I wanted it to work so much that I was willing to overlook aspects of him and myself that didn't align with my true values. And that's why it didn't work.
The idea of a woman instantly regretting her divorce because she's forced to pay alimony to her husband taps into a dramatic and often discussed aspect of divorce: financial consequences.
Are you married?
I am indeed, yes. I've been twice married. My first marriage was a real catastrophe. It lasted about a year and a half. And this one is very solid, over 20 years.
What's the biggest lesson that you learned from your first marriage and the divorce?
I think you really need to love yourself and like your own company, because otherwise you're always looking for that piece of the jigsaw puzzle to complete you when you should be complete to begin with. I find today people are getting together for the wrong reasons. We measure up people in terms of what they own, what they do for a living, how can they provide, how can they, make my life easier. They don't ask the hard questions. Do you want children? Where do you want to live? Where do you aspire to be? You have to talk about that before you commit to see if it's really what you both want, because when you fall in love, you don't think things through very clearly, and there's a lot of, infatuation involved, and there might be a physical attraction, but that's not what keeps people together. When the attraction is gone, what's left? What's left?
What you cannot say and what I will not allow to be said is that doesn't make any logical sense. If it was about money, I would have just stayed where I was at. Clearly, I had access to everything that I wanted. That doesn't make any logical sense. I wouldn't leave it to go work multiple jobs and people know I make a good amount of money. Why would I do that for money? I love this person. And there were just certain things that just didn't work out. And that's not for the world to know. That's not for people to know. That's for me and him to know. And I hate that our business is out on the media sites. I hate that because it's a family. It's a family that's broken apart. It's not entertainment. And unfortunately, it's become entertainment. And I don't like it, because it was somebody I love.
In many places, alimony is gender neutral nowadays, so it's entirely possible for either spouse to be required to pay it, depending on their financial circumstances. If this woman suddenly finds herself in a position where she has to pay alimony, she could be hit with an emotional and financial shock. She may have assumed that post-divorce, she'd be able to maintain her lifestyle without worrying about financial obligations to her ex. But alimony is often based on factors like the length of the marriage, the standard of living during the marriage, and the financial disparity between the spouses.
Hi there, Billy Tarasi with Modern Law. Question of the day. I was married over 10 years and my divorce is not final, and I'm being told I don't qualify for alimony or spousal support. Why not? Well, there is no rule in Arizona that says you qualify for spousal support after you've been married for 10 years. I think what you might be thinking about is that you qualify for Social Security under your spouse's eligibility under their credits if you've been married for 10 years, but it really has absolutely nothing to do with spousal support or alimony in Arizona. To qualify in Arizona, you have to meet one of 4 criteria. You have to be able to meet your reasonable needs on your own, so you have to need it, or you have to have contributed to their education, career to the detriment of your own, or be a certain age and that you can't go work for yourself. You cannot be rehabilitated to get your own job. If you don't qualify under one of those factors, you don't get maintenance.
If I had known this, it would have saved me from a second divorce. Every choice you make stems from what you believe you deserve. After my divorce, no confidence. It was my mission to get into another relationship and fall in love. Like, I needed to prove to myself that my divorce was the right decision. I needed someone to make me feel like I was worth loving. I didn't know how to do that for myself. And when you're coming from that place of lack, you choose the wrong partners. And here's divorce number 2. Don't do what I did. Take the time to get to know yourself and to like yourself so that you know what you deserve and you don't settle for less. Come join Divorced and Empowered if you want to connect with other women rebuilding after divorce.
If she's the higher earner or has the means to support herself, the court may decide she should help her ex get by. For her, the reality of paying alimony might come as a harsh surprise, especially if she didn't fully understand what her financial obligations would be after the divorce.
Surprised you weren't late this time. Remember, you're going with Daddy now. It's Daddy's weekend. Hi. Why haven't you been responding to my texts? I've sent you like 6 in the past hour. What have you been doing?
I've been working.
Okay, well, that's always the excuse. Come on, let's go. No, we gotta get you to Daddy's. What are you doing tonight with them? They want to know.
Going out for pizza.
Okay, I've got all their stuff packed. You know what? That bag I sent Mary Jane with, the pink one, I still haven't found that. And I think you have it. You took it. So, what? No, I packed the socks. They told me that you always lose their socks. Come on, guys, grab your stuff. Oh my gosh, your car's a mess. John, really?
Chill out.
No, I can't. Okay, kids, just get in the car. No redhead around my kid. Do you think you can follow that?
Sure.
Okay. Have tennis practice on Wednesday. Mary Jane, get out of the car. I'm not asking again. Last time you missed tennis practice, and that was really sad to Mary Jane.
You know, you're looking really good lately.
You know what? I don't really like that comment. We're not arguing. We're fine. Everybody come give mommy kisses. Remember, if the crazy redhead comes...
Jolene.
No, I'm telling them. If the crazy redhead comes, call mommy. Okay, that's all. I expect a full written report in 2 hours.
A man says that 50-50 custody has him drowning, but his wife won't get back together because it's cut her workload in half. The man posted to Reddit saying that he and his ex-wife have a 14-month-old son, and shortly after his birth, their marriage fell apart. His ex-wife accused him of not pulling his weight, yet he says that she expected him to know what to do without her telling him. They argued all the time, and finally he told his ex-wife that her life would be much harder without him. The two ended up getting a divorce, and they live in Kentucky where 50-50 custody is the default arrangement. And now that this man is a single parent, he's finding it hard to adjust to caring for his child and said he had no idea what he was in for with getting split custody of his kid. He says he is drowning and can barely function the weeks he has his kid. He's so exhausted. And he thought his ex-wife would feel the same way. She said that life is actually much easier now that she has time for herself due to the 50-50 custody arrangement. She isn't exhausted anymore now that she only has to take care of one person instead of two, aka she was having to take care of that ex-husband. People in the comments were not sympathetic at all to this man. After all, the only reason he wants his ex-wife back is to have her take care of the chores and the child care. Instead of actively seeking solutions to manage his responsibilities as a single parent, he hopes that reuniting with his ex-wife will shift the burden of child care and household off of him. He should rather focus on growth and self-improvement as a father, seeking out parenting classes, helpful books, and overall ways to improve his parenting. His only solution does not have to be a woman to relieve him of his parenting and household responsibilities.
It could lead her to reassess her decisions, wondering if staying married or negotiating the terms differently might have been a better path. On top of the financial burden, the emotional weight of being legally bound to support an ex-partner she no longer lives with can add to the regret. The feeling of regret might also stem from the emotional complexities that often follow a divorce. It's common for people to second-guess their decision once they're in the aftermath, especially if the divorce wasn't entirely amicable.
What do you do if your spouse is hiding assets in a divorce? The first thing that we will do is discovery. This is the formal exchange of documents back and forth where your spouse is going to have to say under oath, these are the assets I have, these are the bank accounts I have, these are the debts I have, and list those. Next, we will review these documents, which is where many times we will figure out about a bank account or an investment account that was not disclosed. We will then follow up with the other attorney and request those documents. If they do not provide it, we will go directly to the bank and ask for the bank or the financial institution to give us anything under this particular person's social security number that they have. This can get difficult and sometimes expensive, but it's important to start with discovery first and then branch out from there to go to the institutions directly to get this information if they will not provide it.
If she now feels that paying alimony to her husband is unfair or overwhelming, it could stir up resentment or frustration, making her wish she had taken a different approach to ending the marriage. The emotional fallout of a divorce, combined with the financial strain, can sometimes lead to a sense of buyer's remorse. If only she had understood the consequences more clearly, or if she had been more prepared for the realities of life post-divorce. And that wraps up today's episode of Manosphere Daily. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified as soon as a new video is out. Share your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.